and welcome to sim.bc where it is 13:15. It was 12:30 the first time I did this. This is going to be the fourth or fifth time that I'm recording this video because my movie kept crashing. Yes, I know, isn't it the best? Isn't it just the best ever when you sit and you're like really comfortable with what you're doing, you're really happy with how it all turned out, and you thought you were stressed because I was gonna meet up with my mates, but turns out all of them gonna eat at home now. And we're not gonna meet up until later tonight. And I was just sitting here like, why isn't it working? Why isn't it working? I was gonna make it now so I don't have to do it later. And it all just kept, oh, you recorded more than 40 seconds. I'm gonna crash now. And I was like, oh dude, is this because I updated the entire operating system on my computer? Probably. Did I go into the App Store and upload it? Or rather updated it? Yes, I did. After like 40 minutes of trial and error and lots of error. All the error. But anyway, I'm hoping that this will be the time that it works. I'm believing in this. I'm feeling it, right? Hopefully it's all going to work out well. Now, I've even forgot what I was going to talk about today. I had so many points that I've taken up over the last hour. This is raw videos. Yes. Yes, because I record them like 6 times doesn't mean that they're less raw because of that, right? No, I know it's weird in a way. Yes, we can start off with me and me mate. Disclaimer again. I think I've done this disclaimer. I did it like twice yesterday, I think, and I've done it like 6 times already today. But disclaimer is coming nonetheless, since I'm believing in this recording. I believe it won't crash. I believe it will make it all the way to YouTube. Hopefully, fingers crossed. But what am I talking about? Yeah, the disclaimer is you shouldn't drink unless you're of drinking age in your country. If you should know your limits of drinking, rather that you drink a bit too little than a bit too much. Drinking can have some physical restrictions on your body. It can create long-term problems. And if drinking was a drug introduced today, it would probably never pass the tests, right? So, without all of that out of the way, me and me mate, this is not going to be family friendly, even though I'm going to try to keep it as family friendly as I can because of, YouTube's algorithm unaliving people instead of saying the K word. I'm hedging, double hedging, triple hedging. But it's better than going straight to the point, at least according to YouTube's new algorithm, apparently. Because, even though I'm not monetizing my videos, I don't want to cripple my ability to do it in the future if we may get there. So, what I was going to talk about was that me and my mate are doing a bit of a marathon Monday today. Yes, that is true. Which is basically consuming beverages from sunup to sundown. Now, we did have our final presentation before we had the sun coming up. So, that all worked out great. Bit of luck there. No, obviously wasn't going to drink during the... consuming any inappropriate beverage during a final presentation, of course not. So, but after that we started. So this is also because of celebrating that it is the end of the semester, right? This was the final presentation. This was the final exam, final assignment. You have it, you name it. It's the last thing that we've done at this school. So today we're officially done. Now we're just gonna get our grades and that's it. Which feels, sad in a way, letting everybody go. Not letting them go, but they're gonna stay here, some of them. Other people, all of the, other internationals will go back to their home universities and their countries. And all of us from our university will go back to our university. Now, there is some sense of security and relief and happiness in that as well. Of course, going to meet all of my old mates, gonna go back to my old routines, gonna go back to security safety where I know what I'm buying, where I'm buying, how I'm buying. And I know I'm going to make a bit of a review, right, about my entire Bordeaux experience. At least that's the plan right now. But still, it's it's kind of sad like going away because it's nice here, to be honest, right? But yeah, we were having a bit of a marathon Monday, so if I'm not 100%, if my phrasing is a bit funny or a bit, out of line, you'll probably understand why. Not out of line in the way that, I'm going to be offensive in any way. At least I hope that I'm not. I'm going to really, really think about it. Not that I'm not thinking about it usually. Not that I have to think about it usually, rather, but I am thinking about it actively when recording, like, as an active choice, usually, but today I'm going to do it even more since I'm not 100% with myself. Gonna see how it all turns out tomorrow though, because the implications of my behavior and consumption of beverages today might implicate the video tomorrow, so we'll see how that is going to turn out. It's probably gonna be all great, right? What's happened, It's never been a bad thing consuming beverages in the way that I'm going to do today, because it's the last day of school and we're celebrating with everybody and everybody's up in arms and it's great, it's the best thing ever, you know what I'm saying. Anyway, so that was the Marathon Monday out of the way. I think, as I said, I've talked about Marathon Monday now for like 60 minutes. And I think I'm gonna leave a video describing what it is if you want to explore that by yourself. What it is, and yet again, responsibility when drinking, key there, right? I also downloaded Photoshop using my brother's license just as a trial period, right? To see if it's actually something that can, one, be run on my computer to begin with, since it's not the most, it's not the computer with the most computing power, right? So just bear with me. And see if I can actually use it, utilize it in any way, and see if I can bring some additional content to the channel. Would be nice, right? Updating the logo, updating this channel art, updating, I don't know, the outlay or the layout of the videos, something like that. Let's see if I can integrate it with it, and it's also going to be really nice to work with it, especially since I was so motivated, since one of my teammates, right, on this final presentation did the finest PowerPoint presentation I've ever seen. I think that I'm quite good at making PowerPoints, but this guy, he made something in, I don't know how long it took. Let's say that it took him 2 hours, just be generous in my case, let's be generous towards me and say that it took him 2 hours to make that PowerPoint. It was still better than everything I've ever done up until this point in time. When it comes to PowerPoints, right? I thought I was really good at presenting. I've been told as much, in the past, that, oh, you're really good at presenting, you're really good at making PowerPoints, making the point actually be conveyed. But this guy, out of this world in comparison to me. And then I realized that, oh, he just downloaded the template, that's why it looks so good. But he also, utilized it and made some efforts in Photoshop to actually make it his own, and trying to tailor it, which actually works rather well. So that's also showed me the room of improvement I have on my own presenting, not my presentation skills, because I was complimented by the teachers today that, oh, you're such a showman and you're really loving it and you're really living the role, and that numbers doesn't sell but stories does, and you're a real showman and you're carrying up your group. And everybody in the group was just like, yes, you're pretty good, mate. I was like, yes. But when it comes to actually making the presentation itself, the actual PowerPoint or whatever presentation tool you're using, I saw that there was a lot of room for improvement, for my own case. So I took that to heart, downloaded Photoshop, and I'll see if I can make something happen out of that. And my brother, my actual physical brother, my biological brother, not just, my bro, but my brother. Oh, that was a long explanation, that was tedious and unnecessary, but it's going to show me a bit about PowerPoint, because he's studying PowerPoint in school, so it's going to be all good, it's going to be all great over the Christmas break. Oh yeah, and dysfunctional team, that's what I was going to talk about. Now, I know that I've said some rather mean comments about my team before, especially starting this series off, because I was so, frustrated with teams. Mainly because it was a bit of a cultural clash, right? When I came from my university, I thought that people were going to work in a certain way, and they did, but sometimes they didn't. And then I went in here with the same mindset, but it was just a greater, disarray of expectations to reality, just to get expectancy theory, which I'm actually going to utilize now. I've done a PowerPoint about it, done a video about the expectancy theory, by the way. If you don't know what it is, I'm gonna leave a link in the description to that as well, so you can find that easily. But basically what I'm thinking about was that we had quite a dysfunctional team in the beginning. I was lumped together with people I didn't know, they didn't know me, they were lumped together with me as well, right? I wasn't just lumped together with them, we were lumped together with each other, thinking as a team, right? And it was very clear from the beginning that we all had very different skills. However, we didn't use them. Proper group work 101. Everybody's good at something, really good at something in comparison to others. Should we utilize that skill? No, let's just divide the group work and everybody does an equal amount of work on all the parts. That's how it began, right? And I was a bit frustrated with the result, and as it ended up, over the course of the semester, we've been working together and finalizing and really trying to find each person's niche. And today when we were presenting, I really saw my group in a new light. I'm the guy who puts in low effort but still produces lots of text, for instance. Then we have one group member who is putting in a little effort, like doesn't have to put in as much effort as I would in order to yield the same performance when it comes to actually structuring the text, right? And then I have one mate, the mate I was talking about. He is really good at the Photoshop and so on and so forth, making videos. Another guy is very good at making flyers in Photoshop as well. So two very good Photoshop guys. And then we have one that's always on time and just bringing a general good feeling to the entire group. And all of these things are key, right? Because these things are what each and every individual member is good at. So basically, if we were all working in isolation, we wouldn't have been producing as good of a text. Even though I at sometimes thought I would, but I know, I'm opening my eyes to it now, and no, I wouldn't. The group was actually very beneficial in that point, and it was a really good learning experience for me, because I've heard people referring to our group saying that I was the leadership type, and I've seen the other people in my groups, referring to that I'm the leader of the group. We don't have a real leader of the group, but if we had, it would be me, right? Taking, making the calls and stuff like that. So that felt really well. And then the teachers today pointed it out as well, like, oh, you're the team leader, right? Kind of, even though we made a company and I was saying that another guy was the CEO, is because of funsies and whatever. But yeah, so it felt good to be acknowledged for that. But that's like my niche in the role. Then we had one guy who is, making PowerPoints, one who's one who's structuring, one who's making videos and flyers, one is just generally increasing the productivity of the group by just being there. That might sound weird, but that's actually a thing too. So it was amazing to see that we worked through this and that I have adapted to the situation and actually managed to, I know it is a group performance, but I would say that I have managed to take up what's the best points and what's the best parts of everybody in the group, and seen that without them directly telling me, I could see that this is your niche, this is what you're good at, you should do this, and I will do your. For instance, let's say that this person was supposed to write a certain amount of text until next week. Then I can say I can write that text, and instead of me sitting in Photoshop for an hour or PowerPoint for an hour, because that's what I used, you can do it in 5 minutes in Photoshop instead. So I take your text part, you take my editing part, and we will be done quicker. It will be a better work, and we both will be more satisfied and have more time on our hands. So yeah, our combined performance actually led to something really great, and actually being able to see that in the end at the final presentation was really good and really interesting. Even though no matter what the content was, I felt really happy with the group work in the end. And the final content just happened to be very good as well, and was very well received by both the people from class and like the other students from class and the teachers, which was really good. So I'm going to end this video now, really hoping that it's not crashing again, because if it does, I'm going to have a serious problem with my computer. Fingers crossed, make it to YouTube. Otherwise, mates, have a nice one, and I'll see you tomorrow. Yet again, let's see how the implications of today's behavior will influence tomorrow's decisions, but we'll see how that all works out. Probably it's going to be all fine, all good. Have a nice one.